Hello, everybody. Welcome to this follow up for Pink Floyd's The Wall. So, I listened to this thing about a week ago, and it probably will come to no surprise that I haven't re listened to the whole thing in its entirety in that week. But going through editing the video, which, took obviously a long time, going through all the songs very kind of minutely again, I kind of was able to not form new thoughts, but just kind of like further robustly think my thoughts. I don't know. Great album. Great album. While it's still not quite my thing because there are some like very sensational prog elements to it, there are like certain standout tracks that I actually really enjoy. Ones that come to mind are Goodbye Blue Sky. The acoustic on that is fantastic. One of my turns, just like the synth that kind of opens up the realization that his wife is cheating on him, is just very kind of, very effective. And then it kind of just turns into like this crazy, him breaking up the room, which I'm not as much of a fan of, but goes into Don't Leave Me Now, which is like a really great forlorn song. It kind of culminates with Another Brick in the Wall and Goodbye Cruel World. So basically everything from One of My Turns up through like Vera and Bring the Boys Back Home is probably my favorite section of the album because he's really like, it starts with a very climactic thing with him realizing his wife is cheating on him and breaking the hotel room. And then just, closing himself off, and that's the end of the first disc. And then it opens up with Hey You, which is like, another very kind of introspective, gloomy, eerie kind of piece. And then like he like looks around, was it Nobody Home, where he looks at all the stuff that he has. And it's so like, we live in this culture now of people who are very isolated, especially these millennials who like, they're basically Western versions of the hikikomori or whatever it's called, where they just like, they don't want to leave their house. They're very socially anxious. And so for Pink Floyd to make this album in 1979, and now it's like, this is a very ubiquitous problem that people have. And I mean, I felt it too. Like when your world is like, the size of a room or a house and you just never want to leave it, you look around and like, suddenly the whole globe has shrunk into this room and it just messes with your head. Sorry, kind of rambling on about that. Last half of the album, I'm not super into. Basically everything from Comfortably Numb onward, I'm just kind of like, it's okay. There's some cool moments, but it's so sensational and you've been listening for so long that I'm just kind of tired at that point. So it's just kind of like an unfortunate side effect of the album. Maybe if it was trimmed, like trimmed 5 to 7 songs out of it, maybe it'd be more effective. I don't know. I do like Run Like Hell, kind of on its own. The Trial is crazy and ridiculous. Outside the Wall, the clarinet or the flute? Amazing melody. Amazing. Again, with Goodbye Blue Sky, One of My Turns, Outside the Wall, those are probably my three favorite tracks. Just stellar composition on them. And I love the way it kind of like loops back again. And I sort of take it to be like people are like kind of theorize, like, what does the end mean? And I know who's it, Roger Waters or David Gilmour, like won't elaborate on like what the end of the album really means. With the album kind of looping back with that phrase cut in half, and it appears again in the first track, I almost sort of take it to mean like, okay, this guy, Pink, this main character, he's gone through this process and he's broken his wall. He's finally out in the world. And it's not for us to see what happens to him now. But then that phrase at the end that gets cut off and makes it feel like a cycle that's going to go again. To me, that's almost like Pink has been taken care of, but there are other people who are like this. There's someone else out there who's going to go through a situation like this or has their own troubles and just remove themselves from society because they just can't handle it. And the process will repeat with other people. And it, to some degree, should repeat in a way of like the wall needs to be broken. So I see it like a bittersweet moment for this main character to come out of his wall and like that clarinet or flute or whatever it is, really showcasing the kind of bittersweet moment of like it's good that my wall is gone, but like I just don't know how to function right now. And then, like I said, I think that last phrase kind of indicates that like it's going to happen again with someone else, or it's, you know, like it's you or something like that. But anyway, I have rambled on far too long. This was a cool album, a great album. Definitely my favorite Pink Floyd album. I won't listen to it again for a long time, but there it is. So that is my follow-up to The Wall. Fantastic album. Thank you for watching. Godspeed.